Thanks for joining us here on the Bearcat Sports Network. It's time to preview the 2015-16 women's bowling season here for the Bearcats. We're joined by head coach Shannon O'Keefe. And Coach, last year was your first year, not only at McKendree, but your first year as a collegiate head coach. Talk about that experience a little bit, what you learned not only about your team, but what you learned about yourself as a coach.
Well, about my team, I learned that I can impact lives more than I ever thought possible. They're hungry for information and hungry to be successful, and to be able to lead them down that road was the best thing I've ever been a part of. So I'm just really excited for the future of that. The thing that I probably learned the most about myself was how patient I can be and how understanding I can be, putting myself in their shoes and being able to relate to them on that athletic level, and just as young girls growing up and giving them guidance. I felt like I did better than I actually thought I would. I have a really great mentor in my husband, who's the director of bowling, and so he's helping me to become a better coach as well.
Last season, a lot of success, a lot of top 5 finishes, both regular USBC tournaments plus NCAA tournaments. I know the disappointment was there in coming up short of the goal of making the NCAA tournament, but you finished 5th, though, at the USBC National Championships. Talk about last season, kind of recap how things went for you.
Well, when my husband and I got here, when Brian and I got here, our goal was and will always be to make the national championship on the NCAA side and bring home a national title to the Bearcat family. So that was our goal going in. We'd not doing this before. We didn't know how it was going to pan out, but that was our goal. And we came in and we had a really good group of girls. They got along really well. And when they finally started to believe in themselves, that they were just as good as other teams out there and that they could compete, they started winning more. They started winning games that maybe people would have wrote them off as not being able to win. And we were one good day away from making the national championships, in my opinion. And other coaches said the same thing. And I think the most heartbreaking part for me was, it was the last day at the Music City, Vanderbilt's tournament, and they went 1-4. Yeah, and we probably needed to go 2-3 or 3-2 to make the national championship. So I really feel like we missed it by just a couple wins. And our girls bowled scared. You could see it. And I tried every tactic in the world. I tried the motivation, the holding their hand, the yelling. I tried everything possible to try to get them to refocus, and that it's just like any other day, and that they bowled so well that I didn't want them to just throw it all away. And I just felt like I didn't prepare them enough. That was on me. They weren't ready to be in that situation. They'd worked so hard and come so far, but they just weren't quite ready. And that was on me, and I took that really, really hard. But the very next week, we had to turn around and head right back to that same center where we had such heartbreak to qualify, to bowl sectionals on the USBC side, to qualify for nationals. And so Brian and I had long heart-to-heart talk with our team, and told them that it is what it is, and we're going to move forward. We still have another national championship to win, and that's what we did. And those girls went in there and absolutely bowled unbelievable, and they bowled like they had nothing to lose instead of bowling scared like they had everything to lose. And they won a sectional title, which was incredible. And we made it to nationals, and they bowled great. They absolutely bowled great.
You talk about that progress. It certainly shows in the second half of your schedule. If you look at the results, 5 top 5 performances in your last 6 tournaments.
Wow.
You talked about the Columbia Music City Classic, which was the one that sticks out in your mind, but still great performances, and you can see that progress from the beginning of the season in November all the way through the national tournament in April.
Yeah, there was one moment that sticks out in my mind that still gives me the absolute chills with my girls. We were in Nebraska. We're in Nebraska. I think we were at Central Missouri, and we were bowling Nebraska. And Nebraska, they won the national championships last year, so they were a powerhouse. And we hadn't even come close to beating them. We bowled them early in the tournament, and we lost by not a lot. And the next time we bowled them, we got off to a really great start, and then Nebraska got off to a slow start. Once Nebraska started kind of turning it on, usually our girls would kind of crumble a little bit. And this one particular time, they kind of stumbled a little bit in the middle of the game, And then every single girl struck in the 8th and struck in the 9th. And it was halfway through that 9th frame, there were no longer these, I would call them softball type cheers, where they're just like rah-rah singing songs. It was from the gut, these yeses. Like they just knew what was happening, and they knew that they had a chance. And I think that was the moment I can pinpoint where they started to get it and they started to believe it was possible. Unfortunately, it was just a little too late in the season. But to see that moment, to see these girls put all this time and effort in and be able to turn it around and give themselves a chance, that is why I want to do what I'm doing. It is by far the coolest thing I've ever experienced in team sports.
Now looking forward to 2015-16, you start your season this weekend over in New Jersey. You're bowling in the Fairleigh Dickinson, New Jersey Jamboree. You talked about your schedule before we got on air. 8 NCAA sanctioned events compared to last year. I believe it was 6.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get that NCAA experience, exposure for these ladies. Talk about putting together that schedule and what you're trying to achieve with that.
Well, putting that schedule together is kind of twofold. We really strongly felt like, because we were so close to making the national championships last year on the NCAA side, that we needed our girls to be able to have more opportunity to bowl against NCAA teams, to help build that win-loss record, to just help build the strength of the schedule. All of that is really important. We don't get to see the East Coast teams very often. They don't come to the Midwest, which is the majority of the tournaments we bowled last year. And so knowing that we needed to take them there so they could see these other teams was really, really important. We're actually taking them to East Coast twice this year. It's just really, really important that they see those teams that they otherwise wouldn't get to see. On top of that, again, increasing the number of matches that we bowl over the course of the entire year. The other side of that is, on the NCAA side, we're limited to the number of competition days. So we have a JV team, and our JV team competes on the USBC side, and we need to get them more experience. So if we pick up more NCAA tournaments, as long as our JV is bowling a USBC event on the same days, then it gets everybody more experience. And so it's kind of twofold.
Let's talk about your roster for this year. Obviously, you lose a third-team All-American in Jody Golick, but you have a lot of experience coming back. Why don't you talk about some of your returnees and key on some of those ladies that have had some experience in your program?
Yeah, we actually only have 3 girls returning to the varsity team for the beginning of the season that was on it from last year. And the really great thing about it is they're just good girls. They are so excited for the season. They're excited to kind of grab the young ones that are on our team and just kind of take them along on this journey. They know how Brian and I like things done. We're very structured, and we have high expectations. And so they know that. So to help kind of bring those girls along will be really, really great. We have 2 seniors on the team who I'm definitely looking at to help carry us forward. They're very talented players, and I have high hopes for them. I feel like after 1 year, they kind of understand maybe a little bit more of what they're actually capable of. I think they were just selling themselves a little short, and they have high expectations of themselves. So I think it's going to be a really good season for them, a good way to finish out their time at McKendree, and hopefully with the national championship would be awesome. On top of that, it's kind of laying the groundwork for our younger girls and for the future of McKendree bowling. So we have 4 freshmen actually traveling. We have 1 sophomore, we have 2 sophomores, but one of them is a transfer from another college. And so I have 5 new girls that are traveling this year. But they come with this immense amount of experience in the bowling world. They bowl the team trials, they bowled junior gold, they bowled team masters, they've bowled all over this country. These girls know what it takes to achieve that success. And one of the really cool things that happened the other day in practice, they had said to me, these are my freshmen, so their expectations are already high because of this simple comment. They said, Shannon, when we win a national championship this year, you have to dye your hair hot pink. And I'm like, I'm not dyeing my hair hot pink, and we just kind of laughed about it. And it didn't hit me until later that night when I was talking to Brian saying, do you know what your girls said? This is what, they already expect that they're going to win a national championship. So to know that that is their ultimate goal and that's what they're working towards makes me feel like we're going to have a really successful season, just because they already believe it.
Well, it sounds like the confidence level is there not only with you and the staff, but with your players as
Yeah.
well. It sounds like the lofty goal is an NCAA championship.
Of course.
Talk about other goals for this program, what you expect for your ladies in 2015-16.
Well, I would love for them to put themselves in position to win a couple tournaments, because every tournament leading up to making it to nationals is kind of the groundwork and stepping stones to get there, and every little success you have helps build on that confidence. So I'd love to see them put themselves into position to win some tournaments along the way. I would love for one of my 4 freshmen to be able to step up and have an unbelievable year and be Rookie of the Year. I would love to see some of my other girls be Player of the Year, or at least make some of those national honors, 3rd team, 2nd team, 1st team. I think we have the talent on our team that they can do that. When you have a really talented team, you have high hopes for them, but it's just a matter of them being able to relax and let their talent speak for them. And it really boils down to, is the talent going to translate when we go to tournaments? Is it going to translate to a win? Is it going to translate to winning matches? So,
Well, Coach, hopefully it all translates into a successful 2015-16.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us and good luck this season.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget you can follow McKendree Women's Bowling online as well as our other sports at www.mckbearcats.com.